Welcome back, everyone. So, we're going to be talking about digital transformation. It is the biggest challenge that is facing us right now. It is one of those initiatives that any company that embarks on this, they are going to have challenges. It doesn't matter if they're using project management, agile processes, or even if they've adopted a DevOps mindset and culture. When it comes to digital transformation, everyone will have questions, everyone will have different interpretations, and everyone will definitely need the correct digital style of leadership. And this sort of leadership is something new, it's something that hasn't been seen before. And to really galvanize the workforce, you need this sort of transformational change agent to be leading the company. And it's a very difficult thing. There's not so many of them out there, in fact. And digital transformation is one of those topics, subject matter areas, which not so many companies have actually managed to achieve, believe it or not. Even if you think of Amazon, they are, you could call them a a pure digital transformation, transformed company. Google and definitely Apple. But what about Uber? What about Airbnb? Would you consider them purely digital transformation? Are they using all these extra capabilities that digital transformation has enabled? So we'll be talking a lot about that in this video. And I will tell you one thing straight off the bat. It is one of my favorite topics. Every time you go into LinkedIn, every time you go into YouTube, every time you go into Google News and you read an article up, it's this term, digital transformation's always evolving. It's never stopped at this one term. A bit like DevOps. DevOps had a phase one and it had a phase two. Digital transformation, I feel, is going down the same path. Now, let's see where digital transformation gets in the next 5 to 10 years. But as it currently stands, these slides will present it to you as where we are currently. So, digital transformation contains a multitude of characteristics, you could say, maybe even attributes that affect it, or one has to tackle for us to completely become digitally transformed. First one, always as it is, it's organizational culture. You have to be a company that is embracing digital transformation, one that knows for it to achieve its goals and initiatives, we have to embrace the digital side. And it doesn't start with culture, obviously. It's one aspect. It starts with training people. Now, people will need the skills, the right training, the right leadership, so that the cultural transformation can also happen. So it is an asymbiotic relationship that people and skills and organizational culture, they come hand in hand. To have digital transformation, you need to have these two, and that's why these two are right at the top. And the third, probably the most important thing I would say, is the technology infrastructure. Currently, as it stands, even if you think of mainframe computers, that is out of date when you think of digitally transformation in today's standards. We are thinking about the cloud. We are thinking about Azure technologies, Amazon, AWS. That's what we are thinking about. But we should step away from the old server mindset. We should definitely be thinking about cloud infrastructure. And it might not just be cloud, it might also be IoT, it might also be smart applications. So definitely technology is definitely in there. And then we also have business models. If you think about it, a company or an organization who is physically who does business using physical form, a physical material, and it transitions its business to a pure electronic form, digital form. Some of their business models will have to change. They might embark on product management and start to create digital products to sell. So they might be selling physical products, which could be brick and mortar stores, but they might also start to sell digital products. This could be newspaper subscriptions, audio podcasts, even a training series. So their business models will change, and they have to take that into consideration as they go for a digital transformation journey. And then the last two is internal operations and customer experience. Now you're probably wondering, why is internal operations in there? If you think about it, a company that has went through this journey, its internal operations are bound to change. They will not stay the same at all. If they change, they will have to go for change management process as well. And it is inevitable that the internal operations of the company will have to be updated. They will have to be digitally transformed, and that has to be done in consideration of technology infrastructure, the people and the skills and the business models will all have to be in alignment for this to even happen. And then the last one we have is customer experience. If you think about it, the customer is the person who we are trying to impress. Remember, there's only one boss, and that is the customer. They have the power to put us all out of business. So we want the customer experience to be absolutely top notch, because if they feel they are getting the best value from us, we will get repeat business. They will be absolutely they will be singing our brand name to the top of the hills. And that's what we want. So digital transformation encompasses all of these different aspects. We need to take this into consideration as we go forward. Some of the most popular features, you could say, or maybe techniques or tools that's been used or to enable digital transformation has actually came from these three things here. So you'll see artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. So what you should try to avoid is stop thinking of cyborgs and stop thinking of Terminator. We're not there yet. When we talk about artificial intelligence, at this current day and age, we are talking about how we can get the hardware or machines in this case to closely mimic human intellect and human behavior. They'll be employing a lot of different techniques, such as neural programming languages, etc. And then we've got machine learning. Machine learning it's a subset of AI, and it's very much stats based. And basically, the purpose is to almost allow machines to have a prediction ability. If they are able to predict, then it helps enable the artificial intelligence side of it, and that improves the overall customer experience if you think about it. So machine learning and artificial intelligence go hand in hand. And then you have another one, which is deep learning. Deep learning is a key thing. It is something new. It is, I think it's very recent, and it is again a subset of machine learning, and it takes the multi-layer neural networks that are feasible at that time, and it makes it computationally feasible, and it is a very advanced subset of machine learning. But in the meantime, what you should be thinking about is to get a digitally transformed company, you will come across artificial intelligence and machine learning, and these are two very important components that you should start to enable your companies, employees, to have the skill sets on and the understanding on what each one of them enables and how we can use it and utilize it in your current companies so you can reap the benefits of it as you go forward. Because if you don't, your competitors definitely will be analyzing how to do it. So, when we look at artificial intelligence, we are thinking about a couple of components. So this is more technical, but it's very important for me to point this out. Artificial intelligence is the ability for the computer, the machine, to be able to reason using some sort of logic. And they'll be using languages such as NLP, which is natural language processing. And in this, they are effectively planning on what they can do. And if you think about how can they do this, how can they plan? Well, they'll be using the subsets of machine learning, the power. So don't forget, machine learning drives artificial intelligence. So if you remember my last slide, I said machine learning has the ability to predict, using its tools and techniques to predict. And then if it has the ability to predict, that gives artificial intelligence to plan ahead and also reason what is the best step to take via NLP. So you can see how the two of them tie together. And then machine learning will use different sorts of tools of its own, and it's mostly statistical. It can be supervised learning, unsupervised, reinforcement, and even deep learning. So these are just some of the tools that will enable artificial intelligence and digital transformation companies to be able to predict and decide the best path forward as you go forward. So just to give some sort of timeline as to when these technologies emerged, in the 1950s we were talking about artificial intelligence such as Terminator, your Terminator film series, but it wasn't as widespread in terms of university adoption and industry adoption. But fast forward to today, especially in the universities now, machine learning courses were very popular back in the 2000s, and they were very widespread in 2010. So this early adoption by the universities enabled AI to truly come into existence, and it allowed deep learning to come into existence. So you can see machine learning, statistical techniques was the catalyst for everything to go out from. And that's just a brief timeline. As you can see, we've been on a journey. And then if you're thinking about it, what comes after, what's in between artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning? Digitally transformation, or digitally transformed companies. Now, artificial intelligence. So we spoke about machine learning there. Artificial intelligence in itself is huge. If you think about it, even when you look at this slide, autonomous systems, neural networks, pattern recognition, chatbots, virtual companions, next-gen cloud robotics, autonomous surgical robots, cognitive cybersecurity. I mean, the application of artificial intelligence goes on and on. Think about CV, resume sorting, because nowadays when there is a job vacancy open, there is thousands of CVs that are submitted. So AI technology can also automatically sort out resumes. I've also seen applications for artificial intelligence for deciding insurance premiums for applications. So that these are just some of the ways AI is currently being used, and these companies are pursuing these avenues of advancing their company's capabilities, are definitely looking at digitally transforming their current initiatives. And the list goes on. And what the key message here is from me is that if you think project management and DevOps and Agile is where it started and it ends there, You are absolutely wrong. The journey must continue. Companies, individuals who are investing their time and effort into learning these new tools and techniques will be on the cutting edge. They will be at the forefront. They will know how to take themselves and their companies to the next level. And these are the individuals that are going to be highly fought after in the new world. So I really encourage you guys to read up about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and see how it can be adopted in your current fields of work. So let's just take one application. Let's take omnichannel. Omnichannel is quite an important concept. It is something whereby, if you think about it, if you are shopping online nowadays, but you might not want to shop online, you might actually just want to place an order online, and then you come into store, and then you can try the order before you buy. That's just one scenario whereby, rather than shipping it to the house, they can go and visit the store. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that is a different scenario which omnichannel can enable, and there could be a lot of benefits in there. But you can see here that look at the different touch points. We've got kiosk, we've got e-commerce, we've got a website, we've got even mobile applications, we've got chat box, we've got a brick and mortar store, we've got the social interactivity, and we've got the call center, the sales staff who will be contacting the customer. So the omni-channel experience is in itself very well established. But if you think about it, what happens if AI and machine learning come into this picture? It could completely change the entire outlook. So it is very important to recognize that even if we think of a traditional business model or a traditional operating model such as the omni-channel approach, if you think this is just it is what it is, no, it will definitely adapt and evolve with the times, with the new AI and the new machine learning and the digitally transforming abilities that are going to come, and this picture will definitely change. If you ask me, chatbots are very popular now. If you go into any sort of website, you will definitely see a pop-up at the bottom left or the bottom right which will say, "How may I help you? Do you have any problems? Have you checked out this page?" That is a chat bot. Nine out of 10 occurrences, there will not be an individual sitting at the other end. It will definitely be a robot. And this robot has been programmed by some individual using NLP languages, and that can identify what the user is writing, what they're asking for, and can respond to it. Now that in itself is absolutely fascinating, if you ask me. I know every time that I've asked one of these chat box a question, you wouldn't believe how difficult it is to actually tell, is it a human that's responded or an actual robot? So it's absolutely critical that you are able to understand these technologies and see how it can digitally transform your capabilities. And we've also got Internet of Things. This is another area which smart cities could take advantage of. Smart industries can also take a part of. But like I said, the model is not stale. It's going to evolve. And once when machine learning and once when AI comes into the picture, this whole entire outlook is bound to become. If we think if it has a limit and boundaries right now, the window of opportunity will open, and it's important as project managers, scrum masters, product owners, product managers, program managers, portfolio managers, CEOs, CTOs, execs, board members, even our project team members, whoever it is, we must recognize that we need to educate ourselves in Internet of Things, omni-channel, AI, machine learning, because if we don't, our competitors are advancing in this and they will put us out of business. So it's exceptionally important that we are able to keep up with the times and be able to understand these new business models and how they can enable us. And the last slide, which is I think this slide is fantastic. It actually shows you the evolution of what's happened. Right at the beginning, at 2012, we were just onboarding with this sort of single channel methodologies, and then as you can see, as we've progressed to 2018 and 19, we have really become hot. We have become on the edge of things. We are really cutting edge now. AI for prediction, AI for conversational, AI for analytics, and it's stunning stuff there. And it's important that we are able to keep on top of these technologies, and we are able to keep advancing and understanding how these new capabilities will enable us in the new world and how we can stay ahead of our competition. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you very much.